Stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. The Pledge of Allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. I think we have to move on.
As required by the Open Public Meetings Act and JSA -1, adequate notice of this meeting has been provided to the public by notice sent to the Home News Tribune, Deputy New Jersey, the Star Ledger, New India Times, by posting on the Edison Public Library website and the bulletin board, and filing notice with the Township Clerk's office. Mr. Kleiman, roll call, please.
Good evening. Mr. Errico?
Here.
Ms. Kabadi?
Yes.
Ms. Leary? Mr. Patel?
Here.
Ms. Patel? Mr. Shen?
Here.
Ms. Singh? Mr. Di Pasquale?
Here.
And we have council liaison, Mr. Patel here as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You do have a quorum.
Okay, we're going to start off with the resolution to approve the minutes, the regular session. I'm going to read the summary of the meeting. At the February 17th, 2026 meeting, the board approved the January regular and closed session minutes and the bill list. Trustees heard updates to the main library, reopening staff interviews, grant work, youth and adult programming, memory cafes, bookmobile services, ADA website updates, and progress on the North Edison branch with a target move from temporary site by the end of June and opening at 777 Grove Avenue, mid-July. The president also presented a proposed committee realignment. The board approved the capital funds and CD actions related to the future bookmobile and North Edison project. Heard public comment from friends of the library about fundraising and program support, and later vote session to approve several personnel appointments and transfers before adjourning at 8:09. Okay, can I have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Nice. Can I have a second? Okay, roll call, please.
That's for the open
Yeah.
session?
Yeah.
Mr. Errico?
Yes.
Ms. Kabadi?
Same.
Ms. Leary is out. Mr. Patel?
Yes.
Ms. Patel?
Yes.
Mr. Shen?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Singh is not here, and Mr. Di Pasquale.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, I have a motion to approve the closed session minutes.
Motion.
Have a second?
Second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Mr. Errico?
Yes.
Ms. Kabadi?
Abstain.
Mr. Patel?
Yes.
Ms. Patel?
Yes.
Mr. Shen? And Ms. Singh is absent. Mr. Di Pasquale.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, we're gonna move on to the financials, including the balance sheet and the bill list. Lyman?
Good evening, everyone. So, on the first page, we have the bank balance sheet as of January 28th, 2026. We currently had $1,430,875.70 in our operating account. We have $195,124.55 in our main library capital account, $5,066.15 in our North Edison capital account, and in our payroll account, $86,158.25. We still had capital investments as of February 28th, 2026 of $1,687,000 $638.89, for a grand total of $3,404,863.54. We have applied and we are expecting to get our first payment from the North Edison branch grant. The payments go to the township by the state treasurer. They are then deposited by the township, and then the township then has to write us a check. So it is my understanding it will be on the next bill list for the council list to approve. So that, I believe, is going to be the first payment is $355,000. So that, as you remember, we were going to then put back into our CDs because we, on the 9th of March, liquidated the CD for 1.1 million. The bill list is pretty standard. We had one bill from Palpro, and as you can see, as they get closer to the end, the bills are getting smaller. We have a meeting tomorrow, and we are at the point of going through the list to see what needs to be done. They are still anticipating to be out of there by the end of April. And so we are looking at the middle of July. I'm going to meet with the board president to come up with a date so we can start letting people know and setting out invitations early. We had originally thought we would do it on July 5th, but there's so much stuff going on for the July 4th holiday. And so for us to get our own big spread in the newspaper next week, following week, we want to do something separate. So it has come pretty damn good, pretty quick. So the total for the bill list is $320,658.98, which I would request the board to approve. The financials really only are showing 1 month, pretty much, not very much to show at this point. The January bill list and encumbrance was the December 31st. So I'm sorry, this shows 2 months. I apologize. February and March. It's the January and the February, but it's the 2 months because the January board meeting really was December. Sorry, it's been one of those days. I feel like I've been on the roller coaster all this week. So that is kind of the report at our end. Some interesting stories. We had placed a large order of books to come from our supplier in India. And he has informed us that they are somewhere on a ship that can't get through the Strait of Hormuz. It's kind of interesting that they still use ship, but we expect to get that. They expect it in a couple of weeks, so we're really excited about that. Does anyone have any questions about the bank balance, any of the bills, or anything on the admin spreadsheet that they would like to ask about?
So before that, we'll do a motion and then we'll ask the questions. We'll do a motion and then we'll do that first. So can I have a motion, please?
Motion. Second.
Got it? All right. Any questions? Questions about the bill list, the financials, anything at all?
Have one.
Yeah.
The Reno PM service, that's for a specific, the library Reno PM service, that's for the specific, any specific library, or it's for everybody? It says library Reno, which I think is renovation, PM service Jan, and one for Feb.
Let me just take a look. I'm not seeing it.
Berkowski and
Okay, isn't that the project manager?
Oh, Mark Bukowski. Mark Bukowski is our owner's rep. And he is overseeing the project on our behalf for the North Edison branch. I'm
That's-
sorry.
Any other questions? Okay, roll call, please.
Mr. Erico?
Yes.
Ms. Kabadi?
Yes,
Mr. Patel?
Yes.
Ms. Patel?
Yes.
Mr. Shen?
Yes.
And Mr. Di Pasquale?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, we're gonna move on to the director's report, and in the report, we're also gonna discuss the budget. First,
First,
we'll do that under, I'm sorry, under new business?
that later, yeah.
Okay, we'll do it. That's fine.
Just to report at this point, we had requested to see if we could get a table at the Taste of Middlesex. We're on a waiting list. We were not guaranteed that we would get it. We would probably find out next week, because I have a feeling maybe they'll be adding some more tables. So I would say at this point, if you were planning on going, it might be best just to do that yourself, or if you know, we can put in the tickets for you and they could build a library. So if you let me know, I can put out a call again and we can do the tickets, and because they'll just invoice us and you won't have to take money out of your own pocket.
Yeah, if I handle that, we might as well just let Alan know via email if we want to go to it. And then we can just take it from there.
Yeah, I'll send out an email in the morning. Yeah,
Alan, what date is that?
that's Monday,
30th.
the 30th. Just for all of you and for the two new library board members who came on this year, all of the board members are members now of the, or we send in the paperwork for the New Jersey Library Trustee Association, and that includes our council liaison as well. We've always included them. So you'll start probably in a month. If you're not already getting, those who are existing should be getting their mailings. And the others should be getting a mailing. And it probably, I'm actually thinking maybe Joseph should be on that list too, would be very helpful. Unless you're getting it from.
Yeah, we're getting it.
You're okay.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure it's good for you to get it, because then that helps us with what's been going out. So that's been done, and the new members should be getting that shortly. Deborah, you want to start so I can rest my voice for 2 seconds?
Sure. So this weekend, Friday through Sunday, is New Jersey Makers Day weekend, which is a time that people can visit the libraries to work on things that are basically creations of your own, whether it's fiber crafts or 3D printers or whatever. So we do have some programs coming up there on the calendar online. I've also been working with incoming staff on onboarding them and introducing them to the rest of the staff and the branches. They're in training. They're great. I can't wait to see how they contribute to the library. Alan and Kevin Kevin is the head of IT, have basically finalized the legal ads, requirements for legal ads going forward after March 1st. We have it on our website. We have a link to the state link for all of the other people's links, and we're sending in the 2 notices per month that it's listed on the website for the first year. So I have completed the general statistical and some data information for the state aid and passed it off to Mr. Kleiman, who will now do the financials. And we did have several staff members go to the New Jersey Library Association meeting. It's a great opportunity for them to see what's happening with other libraries in the state of New Jersey and, get to know their peers. We had a lot of snow, obviously. The township was great about removing it, so thank you. And, this month is going to be really busy with North, kind of gearing up to finalize with the construction, so I'm excited about that. And then I also listed a whole bunch of upcoming programs that might be of interest.
They're all listed on the calendar as well.
We started to work with your part-time controller. They met with Amanda, they met with Chris, and they've scheduled a meeting with me. And I think they will be very helpful for us in just looking at how we just our daily routines, and if there's a better way we could do that. I think they've already come up with some little ideas I think that could streamline. It also gives me someone else to talk to and ask questions about and think what's the best way for us to move forward. Every library in the United States, I'm going to use the word is forced to do an annual report, which reports every single statistics that we do. And so we just completed ours this week. It's going to be going out on Friday. And Deborah, Rada, Kevin, and Chris all helped get that done. It's kind of a boring thing, but it's kind of it. All the data goes to the New Jersey State Library. Once it gets loaded, you can actually see all the statistics, the funding, the monies, circulation, book collections from every library in the state. That then goes to Washington, to the IMLS, the Institute of Museums and Library Services, to the ALA. And so there's national data that we can use to compare with. We are waiting for our first draft of the new website. We were told that we would get that in the next 2 weeks. I have been having a great time going out weekly on the bookmobile. I had thought maybe I would see one of you at one of the stops, but not yet. I should tell you where I'll be. We had staff shortages, and what often happens is I'm the only one, in a way, or Deborah, that's not tied to a desk and needs to be on a schedule to a desk. And so it was great as we move into buying our new bookmobile to also look at the procedures and things that we could streamline on that. And it's also kind of fun to meet all these kids that are trapped in this sardine can for like 15 minutes, all pulling books off the shelves and seeing what they want to read. So it really is great. Michael and I attended the Friends meeting on April 2nd. I believe that we're off to a good start this year. Sarah came in late. Energy, I think, is very high moving forward. We're starting to get our checks and forms in for the Buy a Brick campaign. That's starting to go nicely. We are continue to work with Parker on a memory cafe, which we had last month. Michael and I had a meeting yesterday with the Y, and it looks like the beginning of a new partnership with them for doing some cross programming. They will help us sponsor some things, some prizes. It benefits both of us. And I think it's good as we work with more of the community-based organizations. So we've been doing quite a lot. I already mentioned North. We met with Allstate Interiors. We're starting to look at the furniture we might need for North, how much money we've got, and continue to see what else we need here for the main library. I will see Carrie and Iovino tomorrow, so I expect we'll hear shortly about the RFP for the vestibule that we need to do for Clara Barton. And we're looking at how we can make the whole library a little bit more updated and make it more, give it more curb appeal inside and out. So that pretty much is my report. Anything else you wanted to add? Anyone have any questions for Deborah or myself? Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right, we will move on to the president's report, and I just want to say, we're 3 months into the year, and I've heard nothing but positive about what's happening at the library. Not really, actually none, as far as any negative comments, which is always a good thing. I think we're in a really good place. I think the residents are using the library, and I think the programs that we're offering are being used by the residents and by the parents and the children. And I think that's going to grow even more as we continue the north addition. And I just think and want to thank the administration team and the employees and the library trustees. As the phrase is, it takes a village, and it really does, especially in the library. Just because there's so many moving parts that happen, and there's many people involved, and it's not an easy task to have a large library system like we do and be able to be as successful as we are with it. So again, I just want to thank everybody for their help and participation in having and creating such a great library system for our town. So that's my report. As far as committee reports, we did have a meeting of a committee about the goals for the director. It's something that we, as a board, have decided to institute, that there will be a list of goals for the director, and it keeps everybody accountable. And I think it really will help out not just the staff, but the trustees to, keep everything accountable in what we do. So I'm going to turn this over to Pallavi.
Minutes of the Directors' Goals Committee meeting, time March 12, 2026, 7 p.m. In attendance, Anthony Di Pasquale, Shilvanti Patel, and Pallavi Kabari. This year, the board felt that we needed to have some process in place to identify goals for the director. President Di Pasquale had then sought suggestions and ideas for the same from all board members. As a follow-up to that, the Goals Committee met, reviewed, and consolidated all the ideas in keeping with the library laws. Thank you.
Thank you. We will go to new business. Okay. The first thing we're going to do is the resolution of the 2026 dates, which everybody should have received.
These are the original dates that we presented to the board in January. And in that time, just to refresh everyone's memory, we went with February. We moved the March meeting to this evening. So we have to vote for the rest of the dates for the rest of the year. And so these were the ones that we proposed, which was the Tuesdays with an alternate in case there was for some issue, snow, or we could not have a quorum. So this way people could put their dates in their date book. I believe I checked and I did not see, unless there was one, I'd have to go back, that it conflicted with a township committee. I think there was only perhaps one, and I do not believe that it conflicts with any of the Board of Ed, which are usually not on a Tuesday or a Tuesday night.
Usually on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So we just go, sorry, question.
Yeah.
So the next meeting is April 14th. That's the date we should plan on unless something happens. We don't have a quorum or snow
Right.
or whatever.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep.
Because I just want to make sure I put it in my phone.
Yep.
Because I know we just added some Board of Ed meetings because of the budget hearings. So maybe some conflicts.
All right.
Thank you.
Any other questions? All right. So can I have a motion to approve
Motion.
2026 dates?
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Erico?
Yes.
Ms. Kabadi?
Yes.
Mr. Patel?
Yes.
Ms. Patel?
Yes.
Mr. Shen?
Yes.
And Mr. Di Pasquale?
Yes.
Motion carries, and we will then put that in legal notices.
Okay, next, we're gonna have Mr. Kleinman present the operating budget to us.
Give me 1 second. Everything's a white piece of paper. There we go. That got clipped to the budget.
So, Mr. Kleinman, before you do that, I'd like to, if everybody's okay with this, I'll have Mr. Kleinman present it. And then if there are any questions and stuff at the next meeting, we'll have a time to have questions, just so you can hear what he's saying, and then you can read through it yourself and write down the questions there. I think that'll be easier, a better way to do that. So if everybody's in agreement with that, I think that's the best way to go then. So, yeah.
Yeah, and if there's anything also specific, if you email me before the meeting, I can also have, if there's things I need to maybe do some research that I don't have off the top of my head, either way is fine. But if you could email them actually through Tony, then if I have them, I'll be able to answer them more succinctly if there's something I have to research. So let's start with the first page that you have, which is revenues. So our revenues are pretty clear from what we get. Each year we get our allocation from the township. For the year of 2026, we will be receiving from the township $8,400,957.16. We get from state aid through the legislature and in the governor's budget each year, $58,800. So that's what we start with each year, our 1/3 mill allocation and what we get. Everything else fluctuates a little from year to year. So I already mentioned, there's a little typo in here, I see, that the grant that we're waiting for from the state is $1,500,000. And that's where I mentioned earlier, we have the first payment we're waiting for from the town. We just cashed in the CD that we had for $1,142,615.04, and that's what we're using to pay for the remainder of the funding for PayPal, pretty much, and the other expenses for the North Edison branch. We have the other CD, which is something like $590,000, which is what we're going to use to pay for the bookmobile. And yes, it is really coming. I was working with them this afternoon. We're up to step 3. So at the end of 2026, when we get our reimbursement back from the state and it goes to the town gives us back our money, we will put back as we get this quarterly. So I am, what's the word? Not predicting. I am, what? Estimate. Well, it's going to be $1 million. So as of December 31st, 2026, we'll have our $1 million back. So that's basically our reserve. We're allowed to have a reserve of 20% of our operating cost, which if we're $8 million is way more than 1 million. So each year, obviously, like you do, the interest is really negligible, but we guesstimate with some of the numbers, we'll have about $40,000. At this point, we don't have a contract with any of the vending machines. So we're estimating at this point, we won't get anything. If it turns out that we do have the vending machines, we might get anything under $1,000 in our commission. The meeting room fees, those are reimbursed to us by the County of Middlesex for holding the elections here in this room and in Clara Barton. They give us money because the staff comes in early, and that's kind of how they do that. Lost materials, if people lose their books or they have to pay for them, we're estimating this year we will get $2,500 for that. Our fines and fees, they may include, we don't charge fines, but it may include overdue museum passes or something that we don't even know coming up. Our big number is people come here to make copies and they come here to print out computer printouts. So this is the guesstimate based on kind of what we're doing. So for us, that's pretty much it. We're kind of, we don't really have a lot of revenue sources. We have waited until we got back into this building to apply and see if we can be a passport agency. That will bring in revenue for us. There's been some discussion that the federal government is limiting that. We won't know until we actually apply. And then if we are denied, I'm hoping that maybe some of our legislators in Washington, which we now have a good relationship with since I just visited their offices, will help us out. So we did just a proposed expenditures for operating based on that $8,400,000. So it will look like at the end, we're going to have more because we have a little bit more, but we just did it as if we only had that $8,400,000 from the town. Now, if you go down here, the biggest expense that we have is salaries, of course. The second is payroll withholding. So we have to pay all of those other things. And even the way Paychex does it, they give us two numbers. So pay the FICA, to pay Social Security, to pay all of those kind of things. We guesstimate will be about $660,000. The temporary and seasonal is basically to keep, and that's actually for our officers that we use in the afternoon. We don't use them every day, and we don't use them in the summer because the kids aren't here. So that's a guesstimate. Now, the second biggest expense, actually, the first biggest expense, if you add the two lines together, is the medical. So active employees, the ones that are working, as of December 31st, 2025. So once a year, the township guesstimates the number of full-time employees we would have based on how many we had in December. So that they don't, throughout the year, if someone leaves, they have to take money off. If someone's hired, it's guesstimate. So whatever we have in December, and this is how they've been working for the last 3 years, that's the number they give us. So the active employees' medical benefits for this year are going to be $1,334,994. Some of the board members may not realize that employees who have worked for the township, including the library, for 25 years are entitled to full health benefits. And so when, for example, someone retires from us, they go off the active, they go into that, and they give us the separate lists. So we are, as you can see, almost $812,000 per year, 812,000. We have also that come out of that payroll withholdings, the PERS, which is the staff portion that they have to pay of the union, the pension, the DCRP. As you go down, the next biggest numbers become cleaning and maintenance for the building, which include all the repairs, programming, which we pay for presenters, professional services, which may actually go down since for this year, as we conclude all of these two major building projects, those professional services are going to come down. Contractual, and as I mentioned earlier to Mr. Shen, that we were our big amount. We do two things in a library: we buy books, we do programs. So this books and collections includes books. It includes all our online resources. It includes all the databases. It includes anything that's streaming in that. We did do this year a separate line for online resources. We this past year did not buy as many books as we ordinarily do, so we had no place to put them. So now we are gearing up for opening day collections for our North Edison branch. We are still opening up the boxes from this building, replacing copies of items that are out of date. So we're working through those. The next big portion on here are computer tech. We take everything out of that number, whether it's computers, whether it's wiring that we need, whether it's cameras. We just are upgrading our camera system. We were on two different camera systems. We're now going to be on one. We're upgrading all our cameras. The cameras hadn't been really upgraded in almost 10 or 15 years. So it's now giving us a better idea of what's going on in the library. So we don't have an ability to raise capital funds. The library board creates capital out of the operational. And so what we have out of this little pieces was we grabbed $150,000 more for the main library for capital, 218 for North. So that's going to be furniture, that's going to be chairs, that's going to be the new projection systems that might come out of the technology. If Kevin has any money left, if it's not, it's gonna come out of the capital. The Clara Barton capital is for the vestibule and for us to start to upgrade the furniture. And so it's kind of a guesstimate with us. It's a living document that changes. I mean, here, for example, so you don't plan for something happening and the window breaks. Well, you've got to have a line building maintenance for the window breaks. We're lucky that we haven't had anything like the ceiling collapse, or the roof cave. So the next page was the final. This was the Edmonds that we distributed in January at the January board meeting with the numbers of where they sat at the end of that year. And we kind of guesstimate for the new budget out of what we did last year, except we have obviously changes. So given our money, I just thought the next page you should have is the 2026 library tax levy payment. So I just also think it's important for the library board to know. I mentioned that we would be getting the tax levy of $8,400,957.16. As of that, their health benefits for library employees are coming off at $2,147,000. The PERS, which is our portion of the pension. We match what the employees put in. And the final are workman's comp and insurance costs. So what happens is those come off the top and they kind of prorated as if they were taking it off each quarter. So basically at the end of each quarter, we will get $1,454,358.52, which we did in February. So we get our payments 4 times a year. It's the second month of the third month. So it's it's hard to do. January, February, so it's the February, March, April, May. It's the May, and you got June, July. It's the August, September, October, and there's, you know what I mean. Yeah, so it's that. So that's where this quarterly one is. The town is wonderfully prompt on payment. We get everything between the 10th and the 15th, depending how the check is cut. They call us, they tell us it's ready, we get it, we deposit it in the bank on the same day. So they have been very, very helpful in working with us in how to do that. So that kind of gives you a little bit of explain of why when we do the Edmonds, we don't post 8,400,000. We only post the monies we get in the quarter because that's the money, those are the 4 checks we're getting. So it always looks like this year looked like we're like 3 million short. We're really not. So every year that's why but the last year, Subley Clooney did something, and I need to give you I'm not sure, a copy of the audit. Subley Clooney did something different for a change. They actually did, in essence, two audit sheets, if you remember. One had the money we actually get, and the other had that piece exactly in it. So it really shows everyone of this is what the town took off, and it equals out what we were supposed to get. So out of these little bits and pieces is what we create our capital money for the year or the year plus, because as we did last year, we had money that we're still spending from the main library because we did not know how many change orders we were going to have or what we were going to do. We also waited to buy furniture until a lot of it, because we moved back in and said, oh, we're going to rearrange the furniture a little. I'm glad we didn't buy this. So now we kind of know what we need. So out of what we did little bits and pieces, this is where this came from. So the 150 came from the operating, the 218 came from the operating, the 150 came from the operating, the computer tech came from the operating. We're using the state aid as capital this year. That's our choice. The main library is what we have left. If you go back to that first page tonight when we did the bill list, the Norse Capital Reserve is what we just cashed in. And that's the CD. That should be 570, I think. Oh, no, that's going to be what it's. No, I've got to double check. We did a 3-month. I'm not sure we got that much interest. I'll have to double check it. So that gives us a guesstimate of what we have to spend, and I'll call it construction costs, capital costs, projects for this year. So out of the projects and talking with the staff and what we need, a lot of our projects turn out to be technology related. We're upgrading all the buildings. We need new wiring. We need new cameras. We need blah, 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 blah. So I tried to come up with approximate. So the North Edison branch renovation to pay off PalPro and to do what's left of PalPro is about $848. If you saw our wonderful new machine here, or automated material handling, that's already spec'd and it's on its way for the north building. We have to, all the wires will pull out. we have no cameras there. We have no wiring in that building. So we have no wiring for the cameras. We have no wiring for security. We put in for a new projector, and we need 2 projectors. We have 2 meeting rooms. One's a larger meeting room than this, and the other's the new technology lab / children's room, whatever they want to use it for. It's their multi-purpose room. Furniture, and computers and technology. We know we're gonna need to add some technology. For the main library, continuing to buy the furniture. We need the new projector for downstairs for the children's meeting room. And the computer technology for the main library as we upgrade that. Clara Barton, I guesstimated, I have no idea what it's gonna come in. I put the highest number that it possibly be for the vestibule, so that we have it. Furniture, and new computers, because we're gonna add computers there. We know we don't have enough. And we know we need a new printer. We want to make that, one of the biggest things, and Deborah and Kevin, we now take turns working. I work every Monday night there because Liz was on maternity leave. Deborah works during the day. Kevin works during the day. Rhoda works during the day. It is great because, one, we're there each week at least, and we can see, one, we need more computers. 2, a lot of what people come in for is help with computers scanning. That's a big draw for that branch. And we would need to add some more technology to that building. And I also now feel add a little at a time rather than add everything, little at a time, have people see where they're using it before you buy everything. So it kind of sort of balances. I've got to play with the numbers again to see if the 2838, 391 balances with each other. So in the event we have extra money, we had put on for the last couple of years that we were going to have electronic sign outside here. One also for the North Edison branch. We currently share the telephone system with the township. They are, I believe, went out for an RFP for a new system. So we're not sure whether we'll be included or not included, or we may also, even if we are included, we may need to pay our portion of that system. So I think we still have money. It's not like dollar to dollar. And in the main library and the North Edison branch, we don't really have a public address system. So for security and safety reasons, those would be the 2. So those really don't come out to very much. It's 30, 60, 90, it's 110, which means if we don't spend something by the 3rd quarter, we'll probably know we've got all this extra money. So not as complicated as a township budget, not as complicated as the Board of Ed budget, but it's our budget. It keeps us running. And I keep saying we do what we do each year, and it's I think maybe more understandable for the public. We don't have 50,000 budget line. We just so that is the budget. So I hope you will take it back, take a look at it. I'll play with the numbers, make sure everything's balancing correctly. But there'll just be some tweaks, and I will make sure we're going to aim now to send out the packets on Friday afternoon. So that will give everyone plenty of time for Tuesday over the weekend to look at it. And if you've got any questions you want me to do some homework on, if you send it through Tony, then this way I can check it out, some of those numbers for you that we're not sure of. But I pretty much know the budget doesn't change that much, just the numbers change. But we kind of do the same things. We've got the same vendors. We've got the same things we have to do each year. So that's kind of the presentation of the budget for this year.
Okay, like you said, just so prepare for set out a time next week, next meeting to do the questions on that. All right, so just for the board members, we are going to just make a little change here. So we're going to go next to library board members and liaisons comments first, and then we will move on to public comments. So I'd first like to introduce Carol Patel, who is the liaison from the town council. If you want to introduce yourself and anything you want to say, you follow up.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Tony, for a warm welcome. Nice to see everyone here. I have been involved in Board of Ed for many years. I was board president in town council most recently. The irony is that, I haven't been, I just talking to Ralph, we walked in together from the parking lot. I've never been to this library before. So thank you. The North Edison Library, I've been only once in my lifetime. My son goes there all the time, but I haven't been. So, all the time I was in board, I never even tried to be a library board liaison. So I was really, let's see if we can, nice to know the team. We look forward to some, common projects that we can do, how the town can help, how the council can help, and, trying to understand how the library system functions. It sounds great from, you said, Tony, about the presentation, Mr. Kleiman, I was really impressed by the way you presented the budget. So looking forward to work with everyone this year. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other board members, any comments, announcements? You want to tell us what's going on? Okay. So we will then, oops.
I just want to welcome Virat Patel and Dr. Chen to our board. We look forward to collaborating with.
Okay, we're going to move on to public comment. During the open portion of its meeting, the library board provides the public with an opportunity to offer comments regarding matters pertaining to the library. Pursuant to provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act, the JSA 10:4-1, the board is entitled to permit, regulate, or prohibit public participation in its meetings. Each speaker will have 4 minutes to speak and shall limit comments to matter pertaining to the library. Speakers and members of the public should at all times maintain proper decorum and shall make their comments in a civil manner. Do you have any public comments?
That's the only one. All right. Well, Sarah Nasser, Pleasant Avenue. Good evening, everyone. I am here as a resident of Edison and also as the president of the Friends of the Edison Public Library. First, I want to say this is my first time in this room since the new setup, and it looks wonderful. So not only the new setup, but all the new equipment that we've had here. So kudos to the IT and facilities teams for setting all of this up, and the way that you guys can are here. I think it's a lot more engagement. So looking forward to many more meetings in this room. I also want to say thank you to Mr. Erica in connecting us with the director of the pre-K programs in Edison. So this is to promote the 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten, and which is a program that the Friends has sponsored and continues to sponsor. So with this connection, hopefully we'll be able to promote that within the pre-K program. And I leave it to Director Kleiman to connect the children's librarian to the pre-K director. I also want to say thank you to Ms. Leary, who's not here today, but she connected us with the Township Director of Recreation, who's going to help us set up our fundraiser for the 5K during the Summer America 250 initiative. So that's going to be our largest fundraiser so far to date. A lot more to come as we get the dates and the planning underway. But I'm looking forward to seeing what we can do with the township and to fundraise for the library. Our next Friends meeting is on April 6th, Monday at Clara at 7 p.m. So if you'd like to come, it is another library. Not sure if you've been to Clara branch, Mr. Patel, but there you go. April 6th, 7 p.m. As a resident of Clara Barton, I want to say thank you for continuing to invest in our branch. I'm grateful to hear about the vestibule construction, moving forward, hopefully soon. I'm looking forward to seeing, the new equipment that we can bring into there within the library. So it is a small branch, but you're continuing to prioritize it and you're continuing to see what it can become. So I'm very grateful for that. That is all. Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, there's no other. So we close the public comment portion. Do I have a motion? Do I have a second?
Second.
Everybody? Aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Okay. All right, so we're gonna move on. We do have a closed session. We will have action after we get back from it. So be it resolved by the Edison Public Library Board of Trustees that the board will enter into closed session to discuss matters related to personnel, as these matters involve confidential employee information protected by the state of law. I have a motion.
Motion.
Have a second?
Second.
Everybody, any names? Okay. All right, great. Thank you very much.
There we go.
Okay.
That is very clear.
There we go.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to approve the employment agreement for the assistant library director.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Erico,
Yes.
Ms. Kabadi,
Yes.
Mr. Patel,
Yes.
Ms. Patel,
Yes.
Mr. Shen,
Yes.
Mr. Di Pasquale.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay. And then, Mr. Kleiman, you have 3 resolutions?
Yes. I have a resolution for the Edison Board of Trustees to hire Emily Madera to be a part-time makerspace library associate at the salary of $27.30 per hour to work approximately 20 to 25 hours per week with an effective date of March 25th, 2026.
Can I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Erico,
Yes.
Ms. Kabadi,
Yes.
Mr. Patel,
Yes.
Ms. Patel,
Yes.
Mr. Shen,
Yes.
Mr. Di Pasquale.
Yes.
Motion carries. The next motion that we have in front of the board is to hire Nisha Bahasar?
Nisa
Oh, Nisa.
Babsar.
You want to say it louder?
Nisa Babsar.
Thank you. Part-time library assistant at the rate of $18.89 per hour to work approximately 20 to 25 hours per week to start effective Monday, 23rd, 2026.
Have a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Erico,
Yes.
Ms. Kabadi,
Yes.
Mr. Patel,
Yes.
Ms. Patel,
Yes.
Mr. Shen,
Yes.
Mr. Di Pasquale.
Yes.
Motion carries. And the final is 1, 2, 3. Everything's a white piece of paper. The third resolution is for Abby Alea as a part-time library associate at the rate of $27.30 per hour to work approximately 20 to 25 hours per week to start effective March 24th, 2026.
Have a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Erico,
Yes.
Ms. Kabadi,
Yes.
Mr. Patel,
Yes.
Ms. Patel,
Yes.
Mr. Shen,
Yes.
Mr. Di Pasquale.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay. Anybody have any comments before we adjourn? Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Everybody?
Aye.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.